and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
On second down, here's Osweiler. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
It's complete to Fuller. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31. And that's a guy, Lamar Miller, from Miami, went to the University of Miami, was playing for the Dolphins, but now moved to the Lone Star State.
Yeah, how about that? And sometimes that change of scenery, it may look like it's going to affect him adversely. He's away from his home for the first time ever. But sometimes you get out on your own somewhere else, that can increase your performance. You only focus on your football.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Alfred Blue, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Easy.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So the D-line's going to spread out. 2nd and 10, Luck again. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. The 4-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt, in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now it's Luck. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time, and it paid off on that play. That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. It's a gain of 24 that time. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal.
Now that's the way you run offense. Understanding your clock situation. Excellent job getting to the sideline and getting out of bounds. That's the way to conserve time.
They come out here in the eye. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. First and goal here from the 9. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up second and goal. Here's Luck now on second down. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Philip Dorsett in the final seconds of the first half. And the Colts able to get this back within a touchdown.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. And I guess that makes up for the earlier missed two-point try here to get him to 14.
Yeah, that aggressiveness, it reminds me a lot of when basketball first adopted the three-point shot and people were starting to realize that 3 for 2 was really starting to work for them. In this case now, maybe the 2.
Well, we're going to let you off a little easy there, LR. Halftime interrupted, and we are ready to get to this third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken near the 13. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. A little educational piece. I know a lot of people hear 3-4, 4-3, etc. Take us through the 4-3, Charles.
Okay, 4-3. 4 down defensive linemen, usually 2 defensive tackles, 2 defensive ends. Behind them, the 3 those are the linebackers. The middle linebacker, often known as the Mike, with 2 outside linebackers, the Sam and the Will. There's your 4-3.
Sam on the strong side, Will on the weak side. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And quickly, they get to the line.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough 3rd down awaits them.
Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Here's Shane Leckler now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll fake it. Now Luck. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game. But here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game. And if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. Still in search of the first down after that last completion. A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for Dante Moncrief that time. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, as a former DB, I never want to do anything to take away credit from a good play. And we just saw one there, able to force an incompletion by knocking the pass away. But if you're a DB in Houston, you love what you're getting up front.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Whitney Merciless from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. 3rd and long. It's Locke. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On first down, it's Locke. The ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. His tight end, Dwayne Allen, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 2nd and 10.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Easy, easy, easy. One day, one day, one day, one day. One day, one day, one day, one day.
Play clock winding down. Back to the air. Luck on second down. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter. 10 yards to go on third. Play fake to Turbin. Now Luck. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Here's Pat McAfee now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now it's Miller, and not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Steps away to his left. 15 yards there on the scramble and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Completion left side to Miller. It'll be a gain of 4. And they're going to have a third down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Osweiler, and he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game.
But, partner, anytime someone tells me that fundamentals are leaving the game, I'm going to show them this play because they couldn't get to the passer. So what do you have to do? Get your hands up in the passing lane, and they batted it away on a third down attempt.
And they're not able to convert on fourth down. On first and 10, Locke looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. And he'll be he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Dance into it. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Brian Cushing. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Oh, Osweiler going to throw it. And Miller with it over the middle. And the stop here will come at... And another timeout taken by the Colts. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. Third down and 5. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Over.
Now it's Osweiler. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And Novak's kick is good. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old-school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Osweiler to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. It's a long...